Hey guys, Joe Kraus. You want to go away and buy a website business, but you want to ensure that when you do buy it, you offer and negotiate and you structure a really cool deal that's going to allow you to come out on top, that's really going to set you up for success rather than set you up for failure. So how do you structure a deal, right? How do you make sure it's very beneficial to you? That's exactly what I want to cover in this video on how to structure a deal when buying a website business. For the best advice on how to go away and buy online businesses past that 90% failure rate that all startups face and that has a proven track record that is making money month over month, go away and hit the subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you can be updated when I upload new videos about this every single week. So personally, I've put many offers in on many website businesses, and my clients have done this as well, and we've all walked away with really successful transactions and structured deals that have worked for us. And there's certain structures that have been beneficial to the seller, and there's certain structures that have been beneficial more to the buyer. What I want to do is I want to work out and teach you how to structure a deal that's going to be beneficial to both parties, because if it's not beneficial to both parties, it's not a win-win-win, and we don't go away and complete a really cool, successful transaction. And the reason this is really important is for it to be a win-win-win is that if you only get what you want out of the transaction, but the seller is a little bit bitter about it, that means they're not going to, you're going to tarnish a relationship that you could have built, and that relationship you can get so much more out of than the business itself that you bought, because you can learn so much from that person by keeping a really good relationship and different ways to grow the business and keeping in contact with them for months and years to come. So it's really important why we need to structure a deal that's beneficial to every single partner. So how do we do this? First and foremost, when we have a call with the seller, after we've done all of our due diligence and all of our research, we're going to have a lot of questions. So we jump on the phone with the seller and we start asking the questions about the business. One of the last questions you want to ask them is, what's more important to you in this transaction? Do you want the cash up front, or would you rather get a little bit more for the business and, get the cash paid out to you over a certain time frame? Like, what would be more important? Now, this is really important information for you to have in your arsenal when you're going to go, and I shouldn't say arsenal because it's not a battle, but to have in your tool belt when you're going to go away and put an offer in and structure a deal. Now, if the seller says, like, I just want the cash because I need it straight away, then that means you're probably going to have to go away, and you've got two options, right? You can either have the cash yourself that you pay to them. And the second option is you go away and get finance for it, and you pay them the cash and you pay the finance out over time with interest for that finance. So they're your two kind of options when you're structuring a deal. Now, that means maybe you do, because they want cash, maybe you offer them a little bit less than the value that the full price you'd be prepared to pay for it if you were going to do a sort of different structure where you pay the seller out over time. So the second thing is, like, maybe they want a little bit more money for it and they can wait a little bit more time, which brings you to the next few ways that you can structure a deal. And this can allow you to get really creative. And what I want to put a note on here is that the more creative that you can be throughout making an offer and structuring a deal, by ensuring the seller gets exactly what they want, then the better it is for you. Because if you can give them what they want, but then structure it in a different way that's really creative and really crafty that can allow you to benefit, then you both really win. So that's your main goal here. So say they do say, I'd rather, it'd be cool if I could get a little bit more for the business, but I'd rather, and I'm prepared to wait a little bit more time. You got mainly two kind of options, right? The first option that I would be opting for is what we call an earnout. Now, what an earnout is that you can pay maybe 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 or 80% of the full price for the business, and then over a 3-month, 6-month, or 12-month period, you pay them the rest of the cash as you go. Another option is called seller financing. And what seller financing is that you can pay a deposit right? Say of like 50, 60, 70, 80%, 90% sometimes as well for the business in cash. And then you do seller financing. And what seller financing is that, you pay them through a certain time frame. Like I said before, it could be 3 months, could be 6 months, 8, 10, 12, even longer. And you pay them the money back, but with a little bit of interest on what you owe them. And that can be beneficial to both of you guys because it can buy you more time and it can give and provide the seller more money. Now, there's different deal structures you can do with joint ventures as well, whether, you pay for the 70 or 80% of the business, and then say the next coming months, the seller earns back a part of their revenue from the business or a part of their profit over a certain time frame, and that's a different way to structure the deal. But the main thing that you want to get from this is all these different types of ways you can structure a deal, but B is understanding exactly what the seller wants. When you get that, that can be your fixed point. And the way that you create the rest of the structure is up to you. And the more creative you are, the better it is. So guys, I hope you got a whole lot of value from this actual video. If you do have questions, please comment all of your questions below. If you did like this video, please comment below what you actually liked about it so I can bring more of this to you. If there's something you want me to cover, let me know as well. And for those of you guys, you got to do some research and due diligence before you get to a point when you can start structuring and offering deals and stuff like that. So to get really good at research and due diligence, get my free resources from my website, buyingonlinebusinesses.com/free resources. That's a website evaluator tool, which is hugely helpful. And there's a due diligence framework, which allows you to see exactly what you need to know, what sort of information you need to get from the seller and the business to see if it's a good investment in the first place. So go away and grab those. I hope you got a lot of value, and I'll speak to you next time.